Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, where last time we finished up in Arilu's laboratory, we saved the angel, we leveled up, we saw a vision of the past, or not, I don't know if it was a vision, we actually went back to the past and met Arilu pre-demon Arilu, and had a little conversation with herself in the mirror. It's not crazy, it's perfectly normal. And we became more powerful, or at least our army became more powerful because of it. Because that's just how it works. And now we're heading out onto the street. Actually, we're going to level people up, and we're going to rest, because we should probably do that before we go into the rift here in Dresden. I'm interested to see what that's going to be about. But first, level up. So, Ruchelet, I kind of wish I had brought you with us to the laboratory, but, you know, can't always get it right with the party selection. So you get another combat style feat. Cool. Level you up, or rank you up. There you go. Damn, she's talented. My goodness. Oh, we have one more. There you go. We could get another archery feat. Point blank master. Choose one type of ranged weapon. You do not provoke attacks of opportunity when firing the selected weapon while threatened. Using a ranged weapon while you are threatened provokes attacks of opportunity. So what's the difference if we do this? Do we already have that? Yes, we do. Okay. So we don't need that. We can get this. The skill focus. Those are the only two things we can get. We're not going to be using any other weapon. Oh, wait. Improved precise shot. Your ranged weapons ignore anything but total concealment and cover. Okay, we'll get that. Sounds good. There you go. That was an easy one. Although you got your mythic power too. Or your mythic feat. Deadly aim mythic. That's probably going to be what we get. Yep. Well, got point blank shot mythic too. Let's get deadly aim. There you go. For Greybore, a level 14 Slayer, you get a few things. You get another talent, Slayer talent, and you get Quarry. I already had Quarry. Or is that, I think that's a Ruchelet that has Quarry. So you both have Quarry now. Cool. And then, for your feat, oh, you have oh, this is your Slayer talent. Ooh, what do we want here? A familiar? That could be cool. I do like familiars. Can make an attack of opportunity against an opponent who has just been struck by damage in melee by another. Let's get that opportunist. That's a good one. And I am going through these a little quick, just because I feel like we have looked at a lot of these before. So instead of spending a whole lot of time, I'm going with the one that sticks out the most immediately. Mythic sneak attack. That is a good one. For you, you are no longer getting cleric levels. You are war priest, and you get Sacred Armor. At 7th level, the War Priest gains the ability to enhance his armor with divine powers as a swift action. This power grants the armor a +1 enhancement bonus for every 3 levels beyond 7th level. The bonus is increased. War Priest can use this ability a number of minutes per day equal to his War Priest level. So 7. Or, yeah, 7 minutes. Does not need to be consecutive. These bonuses stack with any existing bonuses the armor might have to a maximum of +5. The War Priest can enhance armor only... armor any of the following armor can enhance armor any of the following armor special abilities: energy resistance, normal, improved, and greater; fortification, heavy, light, or moderate; glamored, and spell resistance 13, 15, 17, 19. Adding any of these special abilities replaces an amount of bonus equal to the special... Man, this is a lot. Equal to the special abilities base cost. For this purpose, glamored counts as +1 bonus, energy +2, Improved +4, greater +5. Duplicate abilities do not stack. The armor must have at least +1 enhancement bonus before any special abilities can be added. Cool. That is actually pretty neat. I don't know if I'll ever use it though, if I'm being honest. Look at that thing. Sacred Armor Fortification 25. This suit of armor or shield produces a magical force that protects vital areas of the wearer more effectively. Is this something... What is this from? Cool. Alright. And then your mythic feat. What do we want to get here? Improved critical. Glaive. Maybe. Power attack. Maybe. I don't use that very often, do I? An extra feat or an extra mythic ability? Not maybe with leading strike. That might be a good thing to get. Oh, it doesn't hit that often. I want something to make you hit more. What was the chance? That's probably a good one. Well, is it? Weapon focus probably be the best one actually to help him hit more. Yep, there you go. All right. Oh, we're doing your mythic stuff first. Let's get that. Ascendant element cold. Because she does do... She has... We're trying to get her some cold spells. Scroll Savant. Nothing this level. Probably just some spells. Which is good. Spells are always nice to have. Level 7 spells. Now looking at your level 9 spells. Okay. Ice Body. Your form transmutes. That's a personal thing. I don't really want that. It's Polymorph. This spell causes 7 shimmering multicolored beams of light to spray from your hand. Each beam has a different color. Creatures in the area of the spell with 8 hit die or less are automatically blinded for 2d4 rounds. Every creature in the area is randomly struck by one or more beams, which have additional effects. 20 points of fire damage, 20 points of acid damage, 80 points of electricity damage, poison, baleful, insane, sent to another plane forever. Creature, I want this. This sounds awesome. Let's get that. I don't know if we'll ever use it, but I like it. And then let's get you some sort of cold. Cold damage. Cone of cold. Don't we already have that? Oh, we don't have cone of cold. Icy prison. Ice storm. The cone attacks are pretty difficult to pull off, I feel like. So let's get Ice Storm. I think Ice Storm would be a good one. Yeah, let's go with that. Alright, next up, Lan. Lan the Man. Zen Archer, you get another key power and Zen Archer bonus feat. Actually, we were going for this, right? Yeah. Alright, for your next key power, Diamond Soul. Equal to... wholeness of body? The number of hit points of damage equal to the monk level. That's not bad. Let's get that. Well, a number of hit points, so we can heal 14 damage. That's actually not that great. feel like a lot of these aren't very useful for him. So magically between spaces of using this ability to move action that consumes 2 points. Let's get that, just in case he ever needs to like move. I think that'll be potentially useful at some point. Dodge bonus to AC against attacks of opportunity. Let's get that. That might pair well with what we just got. I don't know if Abundant Step triggers attacks of opportunity when it's used, but if it does, this should help. Alright, and then your Mythic Power, or Mythic Feat. What is your... hold on. What does your race do? Does it say anywhere? I wish it told me. Charisma. So, is charisma important for you? I don't think so. Well, in that case, let's get point blank shot mythic. Yeah, let's get point blank shot. Alright. And that is everybody. Okay, that didn't take too long. Good. Alright, let's go talk to the storyteller. Oh, hey, we found an angel, buddy. My watch goes on. Greeting, champion. Greetings and thank you for saving my heavenly sister in arm. Targona has returned to us. What joyous news. Xanther told me of a demonic barrier hidden beneath Iomede's symbol in the center of the city. I encountered a similar demonic barrier in Aureliu Vorlish's laboratory and was able to breach it. I can open the barrier too. All you will have to do is protect the city from the blast. I am impressed by your many gifts, champion. Together we shall open the passage and protect the city, and then we shall burn the Midnight Fane with the cleansing fire of righteousness. Let's not do that right now. But first we must gather our strength. Okay, good. I shall send word to Queen Galfrey. Her help may be necessary when we reach that dark bastion of the abyss. The Queen will heed my call and arrive quickly within a month. You must use this time to prepare for the attack of the Fane. Oh, okay, I got a month. Questions? Nope, not to go. I'll go take care of Crusader matters. Wait for the Queen to arrive and remove the demonic seal. Oh, so the Queen's coming. Uh-oh. Hide her from Daron. We've seen what he fantasizes about. Poor guy. Alright, storyteller. I found a page that might interest you. Storyteller carefully takes your find. Yes, you are right. Another piece of evidence from the past I have forgotten. The old elf's expression becomes withdrawn. Thank you. If you find any more pages like this, please bring them to me. I found another one. You're right. Okay, I have another one. You're right. The storyteller clinches the pages you brought. His voice becomes a bit younger and more energetic. My feet are covered by a crawling carpet of locusts. A few insects got under my clothes, under my shirt, down my back, in my pants. They are crawling all over me, tickling my skin with little legs. They will not attack until they recognize me as a stranger. Protective spells are guarding me, allowing me to deceive the pestilent denizens of the rasping rifts. I keep very still. I am but an observer, an uninvited guest who prefers to remain unnoticed. I don't hold my breath. When Demon Lord Dascari swings his scythe over Iziagna, I feel nothing when Iziagna deftly avoids the blow and tries to strike Dascari in return. I'm here by the order of Lady Nocticula, not Nocticula. I must observe the fight and then return to Elushinira. The affairs of the Demon Lords do not concern me. Why did she send you to follow Dascari? The storyteller shrugs absently. I don't know, and I don't want to know. My service to the Lady in Shadow is almost over. It's the 17th year of my life in the Abyss, and I am already counting the days to the end of my term. Who is Iziagna? Oops. Yeah. She is a rising demon lord, servant of Lamashtu. She simultaneously inhabits 7 mighty ant-like bodies. Ziagna and Discari are always snipping at each other, but they dare not enter into open war, fearing Lamashtu's wrath. The storyteller chuckles. The current fight is just a small quarrel, 1 in a million. Ziagna came to the Rasping Rift with only 3 of her 7 bodies. I'm sure it will be easy for Discari to destroy the intruder. Where's your friend Kinney now? The storyteller's lips part in a smile. Here, with me, of course. The stubborn lad refused to stay in Alushnera and volunteered to accompany me to the Rasping Rift. He said he wouldn't miss such an exciting adventure for the world. His youthful zeal and desire to live life to the fullest seemed to make me younger too. Please continue. Rift Carver, Discari's scythe, swings up again. With a whistle through the air, it lodges in the ant-like head of one of Izagna's bodies. Greenish slime splatters, the poisonous drops falling on my face. I keep very still. With a last convulsive movement, the ant-like body winces, tearing the scythe from Discari's hand and jumping back, only to drop on its side and lie still. This loss will hardly worry Iziagna. To kill her, one must destroy her heart, which is hidden deep under Yenarin, a city in Lamashtu's realm. Disarmed, Discari turns to Iziagna's second body that is attacking him. I slowly turn to Kinney, who's sitting next to me. My young friend is usually easily impressed by such mighty opponents fighting, but the seat next to me is empty. Kinney is gone. Storyteller shivers and starts speaking faster. Forgetting about the danger, I look around for my friend. The swarm of locusts at my feet buzzes displeased, but the need for secrecy no longer seems so important. Where is Kinney? After a moment, I see him, and a treacherous shiver runs down my spine. My friend is standing over Ziagna's fallen body, and reaches for Discari's scythe sticking out of it. What's so special about the scythe? The Rift Carver has the power over the material of the plains. Discari made the scythe with his own hands from his mother's skeleton. I can cut rifts in the plains themselves. The Demon Lord uses it to make the Rasping Rifts, his own abyssal realm in the plane of the abyss. Please continue. Kinney, stop! Don't touch it! I scream, throwing caution to the wind. My friend turns to me, his face baffled. I understand him to an extent. The scythe, able to rip passages between planes, will certainly help us save Galarian. But trying to steal it is rash and stupid. We have nothing to defend ourselves against the Demon Lord's rage. Stop, my friend, before it's too late. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Discari lift another Iziagna's body and tear it to pieces with his bare hands, but I don't hear his howl of victory. The Demon Lord throws away the still body of his enemy and turns to us. The swarm of insects is biting my feet. Locusts cover my eyes, hitting me in the face, trying to get inside my nose, mouth, and ears. Nevertheless, I get to it first. I grab the giant scythe and swing it awkwardly in the air. Rift Carver is so heavy, my hands instantly cramp. I have no idea how I managed to lift it at all. I drop the scythe on the ground, but the damage has been done. Right in front of me there is a small rift, a wound in space. The smell of Alushnera's sewage comes out of it, a wonderful smell that brings me hope for salvation. I grab Kinney's sleeve and dive into the rift only a moment before Discari's claws cut the air where we just stood. The storyteller catches his breath and wipes the sweat from his forehead. I angered a Demon Lord, and my life was hanging by a thread. I'd never have thought that something like that could happen in my life. Storyteller shakes his head distrustfully. How many dark sides of my past will I have to find? I'm starting to fear that I might see what I might see in the next pages of my notebook. Damn. Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm excited to see you might be scared what you're going to see, but I'm excited to see what you're going to see. Hear what you're going to see. I have to go. Actually, wait, hold on. Examine these items. Hold on. The storyteller nods politely. Let me touch them, and I'll tell you what I see. The storyteller's fingers run over the piece of old cloak. I sense power. This item belonged to someone truly powerful. It was created as a gift. It's so hazy. I would like to learn this story, but it would take much to revive such a mighty relic. If you can get 5 vials of magic essence, 2 bars of cold iron, 2 vials of demon blood, and 3 skins of magical creatures, I will try to restore it. Huh. Gives the storyteller the piece of cloak and the necessary materials. Don't have them. Cool. And that started what? Restoring an ancient cloak. Alright. Let's go talk to Krennic. I haven't talked to Krennic in a while. Let's go talk to Krennic. See if he has anything new to say. Where's he at? There he is. I see his aura. Nope, nothing for him. Okay. Alright, let's go check out the rift. No, we want to sleep. Let's go sleep. Just in case the rift starts combat or something, we want to be rested. So we have a month before the queen arrives. What are we going to do for a month? It's a long time. Maybe we were a bit slow on the main quests. That we've completed a lot of the side stuff. I'm unsure. We actually need more scrolls of haste for when you're not with us, Ninio. I know Woljif is always with us, but Woljif. Still, things ain't too bad in Dresden. It's almost like being in a real city. I just wish the patrols stopped dragging me up in front of Erebeth all the time. It's like I can't walk into a store or take an innocent peek inside a warehouse without being suspected of something. It is possible you entered the premises with dishonest intentions, but you have forgotten? I could try to hypnotize you, and restore your memory. I don't think he forgot, anyhow. Alright. Another 9 hours passed. Let's go see what we can find out about that rift. To the streets. Got a few quests here. Price of knowledge. Or one of those is to tell the lady about the old woman by the tree in Winter Sun. So we'll do that too. For a second there, I thought he had the aura of, you know, a criminal. Where is this woman, though? Nistra. Is that White Nistra? Captain Harmattan. I don't remember. Actually, don't know where this lady is. She has to be out here somewhere, right? Well, let's go sell while we're here. Mr. Blacksmith. Sell everything. There you go. Go into here. You can also have all these, all that. Lustrous blade. I guess we don't need this anymore. She's got a better weapon right now. Don't need that. Don't need you, don't need you. Got nobody who uses bucklers anymore, so we'll get rid of that. Hold on to those. Don't need these. Don't need these. Keep anything that's +4. I don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. We'll hold on to that just in case we ever come across anybody that does poison damage and it's becoming a problem for us. Alright. Got a little bit of money, which is good because we had used up quite a bit when we were recruiting. Alright, this looks like it's bigger. It definitely is bigger. Alright, let's see what this does. You feel the bitter cold of the strange haze that surrounds the gate, just as you did in Arilu Vorlish's laboratory. Through the distortion, you can see the gates of Dresden and hear muffled voices. The distortion is trying to draw you in, but you are ready to resist its pull. Look into the distortion. Succeeded. As you look closer, you can see the tall outline of a figure, possibly an elf or a human. But there's something strange happening to this figure. It is changing and distorting. Sometimes horns sprout from the figure, and then disappear again, as if it's trying to contain or conceal its true shape. Instinctively, you sense that this creature is dangerous. Touch the haze. You try to touch the distortion but meet resistance, as if your hand is being pushed back by a powerful gust of cold air. For a moment, you feel as if the cold spreading up your arm has frozen your bones, turning them into fragile ice. However, the sensation passes quickly. Go inside the distortion. You can't resist the force pulling you into the distortion. The past and present collide, creating a vortex of energy that consumes you. What have I done? It shouldn't be too bad, right? I mean, I'm alone, so... Let's see what's going on here. The commander is given the chance to change the past. What is going on? Minago? Where is this simpleton? How long do I have to wait for him? And who the hell is this? Behind the guise of a beautiful woman, you can clearly see Minago's eyeless face. She raises her hand to cast a spell, but a unit of knights comes through the gate. Staunton Vaughn. To battle, my friends. The gods are with us. Today we will gain a long-awaited victory for the Crusade. You barely recognize Staunton. There is a cheerful smile on his young face, and there is hope in his eyes instead of dark despair. He doesn't notice you. His eyes are locked on Minago. Darling, at last. With this banner, we are invincible. Let's go. The great deeds you do today will never be forgotten. Every crusader will know your name, and the queen herself will reward you. You see past the illusion. Demons disguised as crusaders sneer mockingly. Will you have enough power to help Staunton see the truth? Oh shit, you're almost certain that you have the power to open his eyes to the truth. You simply have to rely on your power of persuasion. Staunton, you must return the banner, or there will be trouble. Intimidate. Minago, get out of here, you lying seductress, or I will drive you out by force. Knowledge Arcana. Don't you know how this banner works? The moment you take it outside Dresden's walls, the city will lose its magic protection, and the demons will flock here from across the world boon. Do you think Torag would approve of going on a raid without permission? Don't worry about me. Onward, Staunton. Your moment of glory awaits. We're gonna try and intimidate Minago. Minago, get out of here, you lying seductress, or I will drive you out by force. Succeeded at intimidation check. Minago? That's the name of a demon. Stunned, Staunton looks at the woman, who assumes an air of injured innocence. I can't believe you. Don't listen to him. It's all a lie. He's a demon trying to corrupt you. Looks like it. Staunton glowers at you, clutching the holy symbol that hangs around his neck. In the name of Torag, state your purpose. Answer me. Who are you, and why have you come here? I'm the one who will have to kill you if you do not stop. I'm your friend, and I have come to stop you from making a terrible mistake. Did we ever consider Staunton a friend? It's been so long, I kind of forget if we considered him a friend or not. I don't think we really knew him enough. He betrayed us pretty early on. I'm the one who will have to kill you if you do not stop. Kill me? Staunton gives you a long, anxious stare. Strange. Your words sound threatening, but they don't seem like they're meant to scare me. You talk about my death at your hands as if it has already happened. Shut your lying mouth. Don't you poison him against me. Staunton, light of my life, don't listen to this scum. Let's kill him and keep going. Great deeds await. I trusted you. Staunton's grim voice breaks. I trusted you. I loved you, and you... Were you lying to me all this time? You wanted to set me up so that I'd fall and take Dresden down with me. Who are you, really? No, I can't believe you're going to fall for the lies of the scum. I've never deceived you, my sweet. I love you so much. Forget what I said. She really loves you. Go, your moment of glory awaits. She's been lying to you this whole time, but now you know the truth. The dwarf's jaw is set, though you see the sheen of tears in his stern eyes. I trusted you, he repeats quietly. laying his hands on the hilt of his weapon. I loved you. Torag saved me. Staunton makes a sign of blessing. Brothers and sisters, it's a trap. These are demons. Kill them. Protect the banner. You hear a low rumble. It is the flow of time changing its course, slowly and reluctantly. You were able to change the past. Everything was as it should have been. Everything is as it should be. Everything will be as it should. Did I really just change the past? Did Dresden never fall now? I feel like that changes so much. That can't... What... I guess Monago might have succeeded still, right? Like, killed them and then got the banner. Wow, that seems like a major change, though, right? If Dresden doesn't fall. Huh. Time travel, man. It can really mess some stuff up. Holy shit. Staunton Vaughn. Commander! So it really was you. On this very spot, 70 years ago. Battle hardened and weathered by time. Staunton's hands are covered in scars and wrinkles line his forehead, but his eyes shine with hope as brightly as they did in his youth. Holy crap. When you said you would have to kill me if I gave the banner to the demons, it wasn't a threat, was it? No. No, don't tell me. I don't wish to know what I would have become in a wretched version of the world where Dresden fell, and it was my fault. Anyway, in all the confusion, I never got the time to take you aside to say thank you. Not for what you did for Dresden or the Crusade, but what you did for me. Oh my goodness. Why are you only telling me this now? I wasn't completely sure. I was waiting. That night I felt something inexplicable. It was like the rumble of a mountain beginning to move, a sound you hear before an earthquake, with your bones, not with your ears. For a moment I felt the movement, not of rock and earth, but of time itself. Back then I didn't understand what it meant, but now, at this very moment, I have the same feeling. You've just been there, haven't you? 70 years have passed for me since that night you tried to convince a young idiot not to make the worst mistake of his life, but not for you. Staunton's gaze sweeps over you in admiration. My memory is not perfect, but I swear, even the wrinkles on your clothes look the same as they did that night. So you understand what I did? Yes and no. I know the only thing that matters. Commander Barrett can work miracles. Hell yeah, I'm a god. I spent many sleepless nights thinking about what you did. Was it really possible that you had come from some dreadful future where Dresden had fallen? That you had traveled to the past in order to stop it from happening? If so, what was it like in that world? Did it disappear forever? Or does it still exist somewhere? I finally realized that it didn't matter. A miracle is a miracle. You performed one for me, and I'm grateful. What happened after that night? We returned the banner to its rightful place. I confessed what I did. I thought I was to be stripped of my rank and sent to the condemned. But at least my conscience would be clean. But that's not what happened. I became a hero. Can you imagine? Everyone was praising me for how I defeated Monago in the battle. They rewarded me, promoted me. In the end, I became the warden of the fortress. But then, everything went downhill. Oh. The Second Crusade was different from the first. The first time we fought... Yeah, there's so many things that would change. I know I haven't read all this yet, so maybe Dresden still fell. But Yaniel would still be alive too if Dresden didn't fall, right? At least she would have died differently. Yeah, they're probably going to have Dresden still fall, right? Because that's only what makes sense. There'd be too much that changed if Dresden doesn't actually fall, I feel like. The Second Crusade was different from the first. The first time, we fought scattered groups of demons from a little crack between the worlds. The second time, the crack had split apart into a gaping hole, and an entire army poured out of it. We were retreating, giving up mile after mile to them. Soon it was clear we didn't have a chance, not just for a quick victory, but even of saving what was left of Sarkoris. If Iomade hadn't created a magical barrier around the wound to stop the onslaught of demons, the rest of the world would have followed Sarkoris. In the midst of this nightmare, Dresden stood, an indestructible citadel, but soon it turned into a tiny enclave of crusaders deep within enemy territory. The banner and our bravery kept demons outside the walls, and the Queen's support kept us alive and fed, but a counterattack was out of the question. That is, until the day you brought the 5th Crusader army to the city walls and lifted the decades-long siege. Really? Wow. So Dresden didn't fall. I'm assuming Yaniel still died. Did a Baelor named Darazan fight in that battle? Was he attacked by a dwarf named Greybor? Darazan? Yes, he was among those laying siege to the city. A dwarf named Greybor wounded him severely and forced him to flee. It's been a long time since I've seen such a daring and well-executed attack. What do you know about me? When the demons attacked Canabris, they were hoping to put an end to the Crusades. They planned on taking the ward stones of Canabris and using it to destroy the entire magical barrier around the world wound. Their dirty plan would have worked if it wasn't for the hero who stood in their way. You. You reclaimed the ward stone and made the demons leave Canabris. Queen Galfrey appointed you the commander of the 5th Crusade. They say Iomade herself guides you in battle, and you perform real miracles in her name. Well, I don't know about the goddess, but I've seen your miracles with my own eyes. You came to the walls of Dresden and lifted the siege. You did what the entire Mendevian army couldn't do for decades. You scared the demons away from the walls. Now the city is your capital, and your armies are crushing the demons on all fronts. After the liberation of Dresden, Iomede's holy banner, the Sword of Valor, started to change, as if acknowledging your rule over it. Many deemed this to be a good sign. What do you know about a succubus named Arushale? A little. I put her in prison, put a lock on the door, and that's the end of it. What else was I supposed to do? A demon came to my gates and started spinning stories about her repentance. Dozens of followers defended her, otherwise she'd have ended up on the chopping block. What will you do next? Serve, the dwarf says simply, but not here, not in Dresden. All this time I've known I don't belong here. I'm not a hero. I'm a fool who almost gave the city to demons. Truth be told, I should be among the condemned, not here. I'm sure Dresden will be fine. You'll keep it safe. As for me, I'll change my name and enlist in the infantry. Maybe with time, I'll do something I can be proud of. For now, farewell, Commander, and thank you again. Staunton gives you a salute and walks away. As you follow the dwarf with your eyes, you feel the burden of time weigh heavily on your shoulders. You did what you intended, and yet how little has changed. The course of time has been altered, but only a little. Can anything truly be changed? What if it was as it was? It is what it is, and it will always what if it was as it was, it is what it is, and it will be as it will be? Or is there a way to make everything as it should be, and you just haven't found it yet? Wow, that's crazy. So Dresden never fell. That's amazing. That's really cool. Alright, and Staunton's alive. Huh. What about... Man. I'm just not going to ask too many questions about it. We're just going to accept it. Staunton's alive. Dresden never fell. That's all we need to know. Okay. Cusp of the Abyss. Wait for the Queen to arrive. Price of knowledge. Tell the leader of the Order of the Flaming Scholar. Miammer, where it is. Where's she at? Miammer. Where is she, though? I guess we're just gonna have to look around until we find her, huh? Okay. That was really cool, though. You guys doing alright? Yeah. Ember? You doing okay? Doing your sermons again? Ember is bobbing her head and humming a tune. How are the former Baphomet cultists doing? You know, this cult did very bad things to them. They made them hurt and frighten each other and themselves, and then lied that they didn't have a way back. They convinced them the only choice for a sinner was to sin again. They are much better now, but still, their souls, Inside they are like my hands, all burnt. Besides, simple city dwellers who weren't in the cult don't understand them at all. They say things to them. Maybe it's even fair, but it just makes everything worse. Some people don't want to believe they repented, as if they want them to go back to the demons. But some feel sorry for them. They ask questions and listen. Those conversations make them feel better, and others might listen and not fall for the same thing. You see how good it is? You see how good it is that you didn't kill them? Thank you. You're welcome. I'm still not entirely certain it was the right decision, but, you know. So far, so good.
I will guide us.
Alright, Miammer, where are you? Not here.
Godspeed.
There's CR. Here's a little stage thing. Horgus, how you doing, buddy? Tell me about the battle for Dresden. Regrettably, I cannot tell you much about that. You were in the vanguard, so you might have a clearer picture of those events. Still, the news that Dresden was no longer under threat took a hefty load off my mind. The constant skirmishes around Dresden had long ago become routine for our generation. Everyone knew that Dresden was to fall someday, regardless of the Holy Banner's presence. And then you came out of nowhere, clearing all the demons from the city's outskirts in a single battle. Unbelievable. I'm not one for optimism, but I must admit that even I had a spark of some adolescent enthusiasm. What if we are really going to make it this time? The only person I'd like to warn you about is Warden Staunton. He is used to having a firm grip on Dresden, so why would he hand the city over to some upstart commander and leave without a word? Sounds suspicious if you ask me. Man, that's really cool.
Let us press on.
Let's just travel back in time and kill Arilu. Problem solved, right? Where is this person? Were they really not on my map? That's one-eyed. Blacksmith. Where's sir? The only person I don't know who they are really is Nistra. Maybe that's them. Maybe it was Nistra Mayemmer or something. Let's go check that out. I want to go talk to the quartermaster though, see if he has anything to talk about with the assault on Dresden. Nope. Okay.
Our path leads.
Could talk to Arabeth and man, I feel like I want to talk to everybody now. All right, so she is up here. Can we go back and save Kyoto? Change Camelia's mind? The knight is holding a slate tablet in her hands. It is covered in occult symbols and diagrams. You are not sure what she is calculating, but she's clearly not getting the answers she wants. She mutters curses under her breath, wiping off some of the symbols and writing them anew in chalk. Looking up from her calculations, Nistra Flamefinger notices you and sits up, ramrod straight. Greetings to you. Alright, yeah, so Myammer was the old lady, not the person we're looking for. Good. Why do they call you Nistra Flamefinger? Nistra smiles. She obviously enjoys answering this question. She holds up her hands, and flames spark to life at her fingertips. I'm a mage. I do not conduct my experiments in a laboratory, but on the field of battle. That is why the Queen appointed me to lead the order in this time of war. Tell me about your order. Most Crusader orders rely on a bastion of steel and blessings from above. We reject neither, but our primary weapon is magic. Mystic spellcasters and researchers of the supernatural gather under our banner. As I understand it, you and Myammer weren't on the best of terms. Whatever terms Sister Myammer and I may have been on has no bearing on this matter. She was always a brilliant scientist, a mediocre knight, and an utterly lackluster leader. The Order's successes, or rather, the lack thereof, during her leadership speak for themselves, as does her outrageous absconding from Canabras. I found Myammer, I think. She's on a cliff near Wintersun. She's studying the runes on the bark of a petrified tree. She doesn't look entirely healthy. Mister's eyes narrow, so she's alive. Well, and absorbed in her research. Well, I wouldn't say she's well. As I thought. I will set off immediately, Commander, to arrest her for desertion. And I also request your presence. Sure. I guess that's what we will be doing then. We have nothing else really to do at the moment that I can think of. So let's head on out. We already slept, right? You know what we forgot to do? We forgot to set our spells. Let's do that now. You don't set spells. You do set spells. Okay. And I guess we've never set spells for you. Actually, I know we did. I know we have. Because you had some. Aspect of the Falcon. Hurricane Bow. That's really all we need, right? Those two. So you don't have an animal companion. I suppose we could get these for the horses. Yeah, go with those. And then for these, Spike Growth is a cool one. A lot of these are similar to what I have on my second character. She's a huntress. I like Sense Vital. Another one of those. Another one of these. For this one, Magic Fang Greater. Protection from energy. Having those is always useful. Life Blast. When you cast this spell, you draw the life force from the surrounding land and hurl it at your enemies, dealing 1d6 points of positive energy damage per cast level to any undead creature. That's kind of cool. Let's get that. And then you have Inspiring Recovery. Let's go ahead and give you Aspect of the Wolf. Yeah, I like that. Okay. No spells for you. You have spells. But no new slots. Okay. Makes it easy for me. Alright, you get a new spell. Let's give you... Go ahead and put Acid Fog in there, sure. And then here, this one. Good. Land, you don't have spells. You do. Yeah, Icy Prison. What? No, we want this one. That's what we wanted. For level 4, you can get... I like these. Let's get this. You're good. You guys don't have spell slots. You do. Alright, for this one, let's get you Holy Sword. Yeah. I think we're just gonna get 2 of those. Actually, you have Restoration. Take a Restoration for that. Good. And now we're rest. It's not like we're pressed for time. We have a whole month before Galfrey arrives and we'll continue the main quest. So, I feel like we can rest as much as we want. We're really going to be ready to go, too. We'll probably going to get a lot done in this month, I'd imagine. Let's get you a Scroll of Fireball.
I often had dreams of flying as a child, but after the misadventure with the gargoyles, I can firmly declare that the wonders of flight are vastly overrated.
True.
Your misadventure was the loss of a fighter at a crucial moment for your fellows. Show some respect.
Yeah, Darren. Show some respect. How dare you? Oh, hi. Rhea Neath, an old half-elf woman, bows to you. She is stately despite her years, with gray strands in her carefully combed hair and a graceful figure. Rhea Neath, representative of the Feradazzle and Company trading house in Nerisian, at your service. The woman hands you a business card, printed on expensive paper with gold lettering. I have a formal offer to the merchants of Dresden regarding the procurement of construction materials and a more personal matter, which I'm afraid only you can help me with. Do you want to trade here? Yes, for a while. I have product samples of what our trading house has to offer. If you need something, you will easily find me in the fortress. But to be honest, I can discuss supplies with your subordinates. What kind of personal matter? I would prefer not to talk about it here. Please find me in the fortress, then we'll talk. Alright, I'll find you when I have time. Thank you. Seeking forgiveness. It's a dangerous thing to be seeking here in Dresden. I don't always give forgiveness. A skilled craftsman can do some work on the relic. The relic will be augmented. Cool. Fire elemental creations. Oh yeah, this is that thing. Only takes 2 days. Let's go ahead and do that. Got some events here. Cursed children and enchanting the faultless daybreak. Let's do that. So summon the triumphant noontide. Priests of Sernway, immersed in meditation, have received a sign from the goddess. The message was mysterious and unclear, but the priests agree on one thing: the time of the faultless daybreak has passed. The advocates of peace among them claim that this is an hour of the triumphant noontide. Yet the belligerent opponents believe in the advent of the sanguineous sundown. So for this we get medium armor, triumphant noontide, +3 scale mail armor, allows the wearer 3 times a day to raise a deceased ally for 2d3 rounds. However, after that the ally dies again. Or whenever the enemy confirms a critical hit against the wielder of this +3 mithril scale armor, every enemy in a 30-foot area must pass a fortitude save or be blinded for 1d4 rounds and suffer 46 positive energy damage. We're going to get noontide. The goddess is merciful. In her dominion, she brings life, hope, and enlightenment to her warriors. The sun dominates the world, and its victory is inevitable. Neat. Cursed children. Demons have been stealing children in Canopus and possessing their bodies so they can get close enough to Crusaders to deliver a dagger strike. The officers are asking how they should proceed when encountering the possessed. Kill all the children. Saving the children must come first. The safety of our soldiers must come first. Hunt down the kidnappers. Ooh. Safety of the soldiers must come first. Military experience. Saving the children must come first. Crusader morale increases by 30. All units receive vulnerable feat for 30 days. -2 to the AC. Yikes. Hunt down the kidnappers. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna hunt down the kidnappers, right? That's the justice. Get justice. Lan is willing to select a number of fighters who will track down and slay the kidnappers. Should they succeed, the nation will applaud them, and Mendevian clerics will offer a solemn prayer for their protectors. Awesome. We do have other things we could do. So development, we can expand an outpost. Let's go ahead and do that. Issue that decree. Takes 7 days. Economy, religious feast. Energy point income increases by 20%. Finance reduces by 10%. We actually don't want that right now. Our army. A letter about Kaelessa. The elf Kaelessa's last wish was that her friends in Keonan learn of her story. The commander is the only one who can recount it in every detail. Kaelessa's friends will be thankful to hear the truth about her fate. 50 marksmen will appear. We're going to issue that decree. And I think that's probably all we can do. Yep. For now, anyway. Good. How are we doing on resources? We have none. Alright. Fair enough. Let's go talk to the lady that just arrived. And that's probably where we'll wrap up the episode. Alright, so she's in the fortress. Are we not in the fortress right now? I guess not. So probably right outside, I'd imagine. Seeking forgiveness. Let's go see what kind of forgiveness they are seeking. Is that them down there? Yeah. Okay, so let's go down there.
I always did what was right. Therefore, I became righteous. Does it mean whatever I do now becomes right because I am righteous?
Yes, Barry, that is exactly what it means. You are always right, and everything you do is right because you are righteous. And you are God. I would not be surprised if that is sort of like one of the end results of this game is your character does ascend to godhood, maybe. Might be a bit much, but it wouldn't be surprising if that's the path it goes down. Is that... There she is, yeah. Rhea is standing, arms folded, pensively, observing the activity around her. Noticing you, she greets you with a nod. Remind me, who are you? Rhea Neath, sales representative of Fridazzle and Company, trading house in Nerisian. I have a few offers for your quartermaster, but making business connections is not my main reason for being here. What is this personal matter you wanted to discuss with me? Rhea sighs loudly. She obviously has trouble saying this. Her cold, businesslike manner melts away. I've said this in my head so many times, and now that I actually have to say it, I can't put two words together. I want to talk to my son very much, but he is avoiding me. I know you are friends, or at least he listens to you. If only you could convince him, or at least approach me. Who's your son? What's your son's name? I know no one by the name of Neath. Oh, of course, forgive me. Neath is not a family name. Not exactly. My husband didn't have any at all. Is this Lan's mother? This is Lan's mother, isn't it? Oh, it is! And neither did I. We took the name of the village he lived in. My son's name is Lan. He knows I'm here and is hiding from me. I can't blame him, but I might never have another chance to make amends and tell him I love him. Why doesn't Lan want to meet you? Or see you? Rhea turns around. Isn't it obvious? I gave up and abandoned him. The day his father and I decided to go our separate ways, that was that. He must resent me, or hate me. Maybe he's ashamed of me, or maybe he is wiser than me. Some children shouldn't meet their mothers. There's no point in reopening old wounds. But I still want to see him so much. A half-elf married a mongrel. How did that happen? Rhea smiles sadly. When it comes to love, it doesn't matter who you are. Back when I was young, I was a smuggler. One day, my friends and I were attacked by our rivals. They were in such a hurry to get their plunder, they didn't even finish us off. They just threw us into a well. I ended up in the mongrel tunnel. Ken was young and curious. Luckily, our boots interested him less than we did. He brought me back to life. I screamed and stabbed him. That was probably a sign that our marriage wouldn't be a happy one. And still, we loved each other. He took care of me and was always ready to make me laugh. He was optimistic, but not the most driven man. I, on the contrary, was too driven. I dragged him to the surface. I believed back then I could move mountains if I just wanted it hard enough. But it didn't work out. Why did you abandon your son? Because... Rhea fights back tears as if tragedy is still too raw for her. I broke, gave up, convinced myself that it was our decision, not my decision, that it would be better for everyone. I'm not sure if Lan told you, but I had other children besides him. They were different. All of them were special, and all were missing something. They just couldn't survive. The last one was born in pieces, and I realized he wouldn't be the last one. I just knew it. I didn't need any healers to tell me that. Or I realized he would be the last one. After that, it's like I sank into a black hole. I saw Ken grieve. I saw Lan struggle to find a place for himself. The neighbors felt no pity for us when they heard about our struggles. They accused us of worshipping demons, Lamashtu, anyone, and I realized I was to blame for all of it, for making Ken go up to the surface, for deciding to have children with him, no matter what, for appearing in Ken's life, having Lan, and for what? So he could suffer? Ken and I discussed it. He said he would take our son and go to his tribe. We both thought we were relieving each other of a terrible burden. Then at least we would be making Lan happy, because he would grow up amongst his own kind. I still ask myself if we did the right thing. If Lan doesn't want to see me, there is nothing right about it. What kind of mother could abandon her own child? No. Alright, I'll find your son. Hold on, I know you've broken the law. It's time to admit your misdeeds. Gotta do it for everybody. Rhea folds her arms across her chest. Yes, I've broken the law. But not now, and not in Dresden. When I was young, I smuggled, I stole, I lied. But those days are long gone. Kin, my husband, showed me the value of an honest life. I excused all my wrongdoings as just me being poor and having no choice. Kin and his tribe had nothing, but they never used that as an excuse to commit crimes. I decided to live like Kin, and have never strayed from that path. I give to temples and the poor. I share like the mongrels shared with me. If this and all my hardships haven't atoned for my sins, then I guess nothing will. I'll find your son. Rhea nods, trying to maintain her composure, but tears are glistening her eyes. Thank you. This means so much to me. Show me your wares. Provides only the very best. What you got? Ring of protections, amulet of protections, lots of potions. Okay. Nothing I want. Right now, anyway. Alright, we're actually going to end the episode there, guys. I don't know how long this quest is going to be for Lan, so I didn't want to start another episode here and rush it. So we'll go talk to Lan at the beginning of the next episode and see if we can't reunite him with his mother. And hopefully things go well for him and her. But until then, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you later.